What's going on, guys? It's Brent from Team Draw Better, and welcome back to another video. Now, before we begin, I just want to say two things. I want to apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've been sort of going through a bunch of personal stuff, but I also want to say thank you to everyone who's stuck around and given me a chance. I really thank you for your patience, but we got a really interesting deck profile today because this actually got me second place at locals this past weekend. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into Regenesis. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. So starting off, we play 3 copies of Regenesis Archfiend. So if you don't know what these cards do, we'll just quick go over them. So Regenesis Archfiend. You can special summon this card from your hand by revealing another monster with 2500 attack or defense in your hand, and you can only special summon this Regenesis Archfiend once per turn this way. And you can only use each of the following effects of Archfiend once per turn. If it's normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Regenesis card from your deck or banishment to your hand, except Regenesis Archfiend. And during your opponent's end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add it back to your hand. And that last piece of text is what all the Regenesis monsters share, besides the one, but we'll get to that. So moving on. And the whole gimmick of this deck is having monsters with 2500 stats, either attack or defense. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have a monster with 2500 on board, you get to special the rest of the monsters for free. So moving on, I played 1 Sage. Sage reads, if a monster with 2500 attack or defense, original attack or defense, that's important, is on field, special summon this card from your hand. You can only special this once per turn that way. And then when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can send 1 other Regenesis card from your hand or face-up field to the grave and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So this is the Omni Negate for the deck, and just like all the other Regenesis cards, during your opponent's end phase, if it was sent there this turn, add it back to your hand. So the recursion of these cards from the graveyard is really, really strong. But next up, I'm playing 1 Warrior. Warrior's effect, like Sage, if a monster with 2500 attack or defense is on field, special this card once per turn. And then its main effect, quick effect, you contribute this card, and then target 1 monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So nice bounce. This helped with Blue Eyes. I played against Blue Eyes in one of the matches, and I'll go over all the matchups in the end, but they normal summoned an Effect Veiler, so at that point I knew there wasn't any sort of additional engine, so I just bounced the Effect Veiler with Warrior, and they set 2 and pass. So next I play 1 Dragon. Same effect as the other ones. It can special if there's 2500 attack or defense monster on the field. And its main effect, quick effect, you contribute this card and target a spell or trap your opponent controls, banish it. So nice back row removal already. It's a pretty nice card. I think these are okay to play at 1 with the other engine that I'm playing. Next, we have one of the boss monsters of the deck, Regenesis Lord. So this cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 face-up monster you control with 2500 original attack and defense. So this needs a monster with both. So any of the Regenesis monsters or any other monster with 2500 attack and defense. But when this is normal or special, or when this is special summoned, you can set 1 Regenesis spell or trap from your deck, and this card gains 2500 attack during the battle phase only. And if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. So in my opinion, this card is insane, but you really don't want to see it in your hand at all. It's okay to see in your hand sometimes, but like a majority of the time you want to be searching it. So that's why I play this at 1. I think it's a really good card. It helps play around Droll a little bit by setting. But next up, we're going to be moving on to the second engine in the deck, Kashtira. So I'm playing 3 Unicorn. The Kashtira monsters are extremely well in this format because I can't tell you how many times on Saturday that I ripped extra deck monsters and the opponent just couldn't play. So Unicorn, we play at 3. I just play 2 Fenrir. 2 Fenrir was fine. It helped with removal, but I don't think 3 is completely necessary. Now, the one interesting tech card that I'm playing at 3, and this is going to seem a little confusing, but honestly, this card was the GOAT that entire day. I play 3 Lava Golem because if you notice, it has 2,500 defense. And so does Unicorn. So either one of these two with Archfiend in hand is Regenesis access because you can go Archfiend effect, reveal either Unicorn or Lava Golem, special Archfiend, and then you can start grabbing whatever Regenesis cards you need. And this is also really helpful going second because you never normal summon, really. The only exception is using Kashtira Birth. That's the only normal summon. So this was really nice. When I lost the die roll, I don't think anyone was expecting this in main deck, so I would just tribute any problem monsters and just proceed to combo off. But that's going to do it for the monsters. We're going to move on to the hand traps right away. I play 14 in this build, and I think they were pretty good. I can't really complain. Play the standards. I play 3 Ash. I play 3 Droll. Droll was amazing. This is probably one of the strongest hand traps in the format right now. It shuts down practically every deck besides Malice. So highly recommend main decking this in any deck that you build because it's extremely strong right now. I play 3 Fua. Self-explanatory. Drawing cards is nice. I play 2 Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is really nice. And me and my one friend talked about this already because it can stop the Mitsurugi spell from coming back to hand. It can stop Malice from banishing from graveyard. It can do a majority of things this format. So I think it's really nice. I saw a majority of these. So I think the ratios are nice. And then I just play 3 Imperm. So just negation. And yeah, that's it for the hand traps. So we're going to move on to the spells and traps. So starting off with the spells, I play 3 Regenesis. Regenesis is you take 1 Regenesis monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to grave. Or if you control a Regenesis monster, you can add 1 monster with 2,500 attack and defense from your hand, from deck to hand instead. So if you control a Regenesis monster, just to spew an example here, the main purpose of this card is to add Regenesis monsters. But if you control one, I've seen engines where if you're playing, say, a Nadir Servant package, if you have a Regenesis monster, you can add Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis because she's 25/25. And that's kind of crazy. But this is a really good card because the second effect is if this is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, target a Regenesis monster in grave, special summon it. So more recursion from the graveyard. This card's really nice, and the next one is too. I play 3 Code. So Code says special summon a Regenesis monster from your deck, but send it to the grave during your opponent's end phase. That does not matter because it'll just come right back to your hand. And then until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. So if your opponent ashes this card, you are not locked out of the extra deck because it did not resolve. So the other effect, during your main phase, if this is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, banish it, then target one of your banished Regenesis monsters, special summon it. So we get graveyard recursion, we get banishment recursion. It was really nice all day. Next up, the cash cards. Just play one birth, search off a unicorn. This was extremely strong against Blue Eyes because I banished both of their Blue Eyes that they were playing from grave, and I banished a maiden, and they just couldn't play. Like I said, the cash cards are extremely powerful this format. I play 3 Pressured Planet Raceoff just to add any of the cash monsters, or just to like see them in rotation more, because the one I would mainly be adding is Unicorn if I have Regenesis Archfiend in hand, so that I can reveal it and go through that route. But Pressure Planet was good, and then I play the new trifecta, I call it. 1 cross out, 1 called by, and 1 talent. These were pretty good because if they were to Ash Regenesis, I have cross out and called by that I sometimes see. And then talent, truthfully, I didn't see as much, but these I did see pretty often. So just to help plays go through. And then 1 trap. We play 1 trap aside from Imperm. Regenesis Birth. This card is kind of crazy because it says you can send 1 Regenesis monster from your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. That is the cost. Sending a monster from deck to grave is the cost. That's insane. And the fact that they recur by being sent there is even more insane. So you send 1 and target a face-up monster your opponent controls and Book of Moon it. That's the first effect. That's really nice. And then the second effect, during your opponent's turn, you can send this card to the grave. Special summon as many Regenesis monsters with different names from hand, grave, or banishment, but send them to the grave during the end phase. So, and you can only use 1 effect per turn, and only once that turn. So you don't get to use both. That would be extremely broken, but it's still a very good card because I did get to use both effects during 1 duel. But the birth is nice because, for example, I hate to be bashing Blue Eyes, but it's a good example of what to do. They summoned out Sage. I chained Birth to the summon after they were attempting to search to book it, and then I chained Imperm so that Sage gets negated and then booked so they can't even go into Spirit. So that's it for the spells and traps. Now we're going to move on to the extra deck, and this might be surprising, might not be surprising, but the extra deck for this deck is not important at all. I'm just trying to play toolbox cards. So starting off with Lynx, we're playing 1 IP. We get a lot of bodies on board, so it's pretty easy to make IP and have material to go into these next Link monsters. Sorry. 1 SP, card's good yet. 1 option to go into with IP, and then the other option is Nightmare Unicorn. I did do this against test playing against Malice. They normal summoned Dormouse. I chained IP to the summon, or on summon, and then made Unicorn, discard a card, spun the Dormouse back, and then another instance of set 2 pass. So I do play 1 more Link just to climb into, like if they don't get rid of the Unicorn and I'm able to get bodies back. I do play Access Code Talker just to clear up the board a little bit. I didn't use it once, didn't really have to because of the Regenesis monsters, but next Xyz, I play a bunch of rank 7s because there's a bunch of rank 7s in the deck. So I play 1 Draco Sack just for additional removal. Flare Metal Dragon acted sort of as a time card just in case, because each time your opponent activates a card or effect, they take 500 damage. So I play 1 Big Eye. Big Eye actually came up a lot because side deck, I do play 3 Nibiru, and at one point the token was insanely massive. I think it was like almost 8,000 attack and like 9,000 defense. So I just went Big Eye, detached 1, took the token, and then swung for game. So That was really nice. And then I play one Dark Armed, again, just for additional removal. Do play the cash cards, so I play a Shangri-Ira just to get out whatever monster I would need, either Unicorn or Fenrir. I do play one Infection Buzz King because there are a couple level 8s, so this is possible to make. During your standby phase, you attach a card from your opponent's grave to this card's material, and then if it's Xyz summoned, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and send a card from it to the graveyard. And then you can detach one material from this card and target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. Then if you destroyed a monster, inflict damage equal to half the attack of it that it had on field. The funny part about this one too is it's also 2,500 defense, so that's another reason why I decided to play it. It didn't come up because, again, your main deck is more able to get things done, but this was just a nice tech option. I do play a bunch of Xyz, so I play Zeus in case I go into one and attack with it. One Typhon, and then because of the hand traps, I play tuners and level 7s and 8s. I play one Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Changing, Big Chungus. This didn't come up, but it's just like a nice card to have in case like you're going against Malice and they're banishing a bunch of things. He gets stronger with each card that's banished, and then if a card is banished while he's on field, you can banish one card each from both your opponent's field and graveyard, so it can help get rid of any pesky card that's on the field or in the graveyard. And then I do play, this one was sort of inspired by a list that I seen top at YCS Providence, I think it was. It was Rhode Island, I think. Jiraishin the Cursed Thunder God. This is just another tech that could come up because of the hand traps, like normal summon Ash or Ghost Bell. And then synchro with one of the Regenesis monsters, but this card reads, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, you gain 300 life points when it resolves, and then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can pay 1,500 life, tribute this card, and then activate one of these effects, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls, or destroy all face-up spells and traps your opponent controls. So it's just another form of removal that I played. I didn't see it. The Regenesis monsters honestly put in all the work as far as removal, so the extra deck in this deck is just a toolbox, truth be told. So that's it for the extra. We're going to move on to the side deck that I had now. So for the side deck, I was under the impression that I was going to see a lot of Malice, so I did kind of side in a lot of Malice hate, but I played 2 Chaos Hunter and 3 Lancia for Malice hate. I didn't play against Malice once, which I think is extremely funny, so these were completely useless. I played 3 Nib just to like punish the opponent if they were overextending. I did play against a hero player at one point, so I thought it would be best to give them their favorite elemental hero, Primal Being token. I do play 1 additional Ghost Spell just in case I really need to see it. Again, it's good. It's pretty good, this format. So more back row removal, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster. Glared a little bit. 1 Duster, sorry. These helped out a lot against White Forest because they had a bunch of back row set, and they were at one point I opened Lightning Storm and Duster, so I think they negated the one with Azamina Sylvie, the Omni Negate fusion. They negated one of these, and then I just activated the other one and wiped out all their back row so they didn't have as much interaction. They had the Diabellstar Vengeance and the Diabell Synchro that summons 1. So it was pretty good. But next, the last 3, I play 3 Dragon's Mind. This card is insane because when a spell or trap or a monster effect is activated while you control a monster with 2,500 original attack or defense, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And then if this card is in your graveyard, pay 2,500, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So this is essentially a better Solemn Strike because it's still a counter trap. So unless they have a counter trap, they can't respond to it. And we have more than enough monsters with 2,500 attack or defense. So this card is so free, and it's a little better than Strike because it can reset itself and you can use it one more time. So this was really nice. I got to use this once or twice. I saw it and it was pretty good. So that's going to do it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I got 2nd place at locals with this. The deck is really, really fun. I would highly recommend playing it because it's just such a blast to play. And again, quick shout out to all you guys for being patient with me. I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to try to be making a more consistent video cycle from now on. So once again, I appreciate you guys for sticking around, but that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as always. Thank you so much, guys. See ya.